For ACUSports.com, I'm Grant Boone talking some Wildcat baseball here with sophomore Russell Crippen and the head coach Britt Bonneau. Wildcats coming off a sweep of New Orleans last weekend. It's the third series that ACU has now won in Southland Conference play. Russell, you had a big part of that win on Sunday with a ninth-inning grand slam. Take us through that at bat.
Well, we kind of jumped ahead early in the game, and they had a good eighth inning, kind of came back, and historically this season we really haven't won those close games. So we really wanted to further our lead in the ninth inning, and my teammates did a great job getting on base and getting walks, and fortunately I got up in the with 2 outs and just wanted to drive something into the gap and got lucky enough to get it over the fence.
Well, I don't know how much luck was involved. I would imagine it was more your skill. But you mentioned some kick-in-the-gut losses your team has had this year to some of the very best teams in all of college baseball, I might add. But there is something that happens when a ball like that goes over the fence. It's not that the game is over. You still have to get 3 more outs there. But there's just a sense of, yes, this one we're not going to let slip away. Wasn't there?
Yes, there for sure was. I mean, you could see in our opponent's dugout, they were kind of getting a little bit of an edge, trying to climb back in and rounding the bases. It felt good to know that, all right, we got a little bit more of a lead, kind of get our momentum back. And we went out there, got 3 outs, and everyone did their job. It was perfect.
You know, a lot's been asked of you this year as a sophomore to play virtually every game and then to basically embrace a new position, and not an easy position, second base. You've been the everyday second baseman now for a good 6 weeks, well over a month now. How about the adjustment period to a new position, and did it at any point have any impact on you at the plate?
At the plate, no. I try not to carry the field into my at-bats, but learning a new position is never easy. But our coaching staff did a great job helping me adjust, and having Kyle Carroll there at shortstop makes it easy, makes it fun. It's a lot of good times talking back and forth. So adjusting is never easy, but our coaches and our players have made it real easy for me.
You guys are now into the top 4 in the league in fielding percentage, which is huge. As you think about this season, you now have 5 more wins already in the conference than you had last year. In the midst, it's crazy to think about, but in the midst of so many difficult losses, let's say in March and in April, here you guys are in the top 8 in the conference standings, which, were you eligible, would be enough to get into the conference tournament. Do you think about standings even though you're not eligible for the tournament?
Yeah, we do as a team for sure. We check the standings. We see where we are because we feel like we're a good enough team to go to the conference tournament and compete with the best teams like we've shown and come up short, but we're right there as a team. And so we've definitely talked about it as a team. We're like, hey, we're there, and we can still climb into the standings with the last few 3 series that we have. Yeah. And, it's for sure on our minds.
Okay, let's talk to your coach here. Britt, we talked about with the Kyle Carroll walk-off a few weeks ago that dugout was ready, long overdue to erupt, and it did when Fajardo hit the tying homer against Sam and then Carroll walked it off. When the ball went over the fence Sunday, again, it didn't end the game. You're on the road. You had to get those final 3 outs, but it pushed that lead to what, statistically, mathematically was going to be a win. Take me through your emotions.
Well, we had an 8-0 lead at one time, and then all of a sudden 6 runs later, they're pretty close to us, or 5 runs later. So to get bases loaded and to get that big hit, and this is one of those that when he hit it, it was going to be out of the park. It was one of his typical hard line drives that got up high enough that pretty much went through the outfield wall. As soon as that happened and we got that extended gap again, and knowing that we only had 3 outs to go, all the air came out of their dugout, and all of a sudden we had new life, and we were dancing and I don't know if I can say dancing around here, but I think I can.
These days you can, yeah.
I can, okay.
Plus it was in New Orleans.
And it was in New Orleans. And so, the dugout was totally different. And, and of course when you have a guy like Zotika up there throwing, you're going to have, a great opportunity to finish it off, and we did.
You always want to win a series. You love to win series when you're on the road, but I mean, Coach, a sweep, that's something different, isn't it?
Well, it's something different for us, for sure. It's been a long time since that's happened to us, and especially to finally to get it done in conference play was huge for us. And anytime you can go on the road and win 1 or 2 games, I think it helps you in the standings because most people win at home. And to go over and take 3 games from them and to put us in 8th place in the conference standings, going with the next 2 weekends, playing 6 more games of conference play to even move ourselves up even more. We're looking to help ourselves in recruiting and a lot of things, and prepare us for this trip to Arizona. And so I like how our guys are playing right now, and I like how they're come together as a team and looking forward to this homestand.
He was downplaying it a little bit, being modest perhaps, but some positions on the field ask more of a player than others. In second base, you've got a lot of responsibilities. Virtually every ball that's hit, you're moving, or maybe every ball that's hit, you're moving. How difficult is it to ask of a player to start playing a position he hadn't played, and for him to be hitting the way he's hitting now, moving up into the 270s and batting? It says a lot, doesn't it?
Well, it does. It shows you his maturity and what he's been able to do for us over the last year and a half. He's a guy that's come in that was going to play first base and some outfield for us, and he's done very well at doing that. But then with some injuries and with some other things that are going on in our team, that we just felt like we needed to move some guys around and needed to change some things up defensively because there for a while we weren't playing very good. And moving him there, I just think it just helps the morale of the team and kind of what we look like out there. And he's done a great job. We worked with him every single day and work on his pivots. I mean, that's the hardest thing about playing second base. You have to move your body in so many different directions to throw a baseball that it's tough. And I tell you what, the best thing that he's done is one of the things that he's done well is he when he makes a mistake, he learns from it and he doesn't make that mistake again. And when you can do that, your teammates see that, and then they start encouraging you. And I think he's right to have Kyle Carroll at shortstop to be able to talk to and to be able to get a lot of information from and tell him where he needs to go and such and such. It's just an all learning process that he's really grasped, and he's done a great job for us there.
2 home series to finish out your Southland Conference schedule. You get Northwestern State this weekend and Incarnate Word the next. Northwestern State's coming off a weekend in which, up in South Bend, Indiana, they took 2 out of 3 from Notre Dame. They're number 2 in the conference. It's a stout team, isn't it?
They really are. They do a great job at the plate, and they pitch well. They got 3 really good arms that we're going to see. Just another typical weekend of this Southland Conference. I mean, we faced these teams at the top of our conference over the last 7 weeks, and these guys come out there with arms that are throwing low 90s and can pitch deep into a game. And the good thing is our pitchers have been able to match these guys, and that's what we got to do this weekend is match them, and hopefully late in the game we can scratch across a couple more runs than they have and get us a W.
Well, how does it feel to be the Pat Robertson of ACU and now join the 700 club? You got your 700th win on Friday, and Coach, you've had every kind of win in your days here, in your 19 years here, but I thought it was fitting in a way with as many tough losses as your team has had against some of the very best teams in all of college baseball, for you to scratch back and get a win, to be that 700th, to happen the way it did, I thought was neat.
I tell you what, early in that game, just the way it was going, it wasn't really going our way. But you know what? We kept getting out of innings that made them not have a huge inning. We got out of the first inning, and they had guys on base, the second and third inning, they had guys on base here. We got it's a 4-1 game. But then you look at our offense, and they just kind of scratched 1 run here and 1 run there. I had to go to the bullpen in the third inning, and we just started kind of piecing it together. And when you do that, sometimes it kind of confuses their hitters because they're not seeing the same pitcher every single time. And so we put up some zeros in the middle, and then we, of course, we have Aaron Mason who comes in and throws up some zeros and was able to get a win, his first collegiate win, which I was proud of him for. And so it was a huge team. It was a complete team effort there from the whole pitching staff, everybody defensively. We didn't make an error. And we just kind of kept plugging away. And then we had a big inning there at the end, and it kind of got us some separation, and we get a W. And believe me, we're glad it's over with and glad we can move on. And I tell you what, Game 2 and Game 3, we played loose, and we got out there and we played well. And to come back with a sweep was just huge for our team and the morale. And tell you what, we're looking forward to being with these guys the next 3 weeks.
Last thing, round numbers give you a chance to reflect a little bit. 19 years, 700 wins. And I know in the aftermath, you and I were talking via text just about all the things that have gone on in 19 years, and it makes you think back to your first win here, and it makes you think to some of the great players who've come through here, doesn't it?
Well, I can remember the first win. I remember Casey Cross hitting a 2-run home run in the ninth inning to get us a 1-run lead that we won, and I was scratching my head because it was we had lost the game before, and I was like, man, are we ever going to win a game? And then all of a sudden you have somebody that just steps up and gets it done. And, over the years, I mean, you can go through I reflect on the players that we've had here and the coaching staffs that I've had, and to be able to just see these guys mature as young men, and they go off and they get married and they have kids. And some of those have brought their kids back up here for me to recruit. That shows you how old I am. You got juniors and seniors in high school now. And so I tell you what, it's been fun. And the one thing I look back as is I've been able to do it all here at Abilene Christian University. Not too many coaches do that anymore. They're 4 or 5 years in somewhere and they go somewhere else, and so to be able to do it here at ACU, a place that me and Carrie love, and my whole family has spent a lot of time here. I think that right there I'm more excited for Abilene Christian than anything.
We're not letting you go.
That's good.
Okay, good. Couple of weekend series coming up. Home for Northwestern State this weekend, and then home for Incarnate Word next weekend. We'll have all 3 broadcasts this weekend here on ACUsports.com. For Russell Crippen and for Mr. 700 Britt Bonneau, I'm Grant Boone.